And he says, begin with. It's right, pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, it just fell. Bill Wright. And these guys have been day years. And so the ship sitting there, everybody's, nobody knows where to go. So they call him in the middle of the night. He set this thing, you've set this thing up 1,000 times. What are you thinking about? And I don't know how to do it now. The shift goes. Unbelievable. Really. Just all out. Yeah. Yes. But I got a degree in drawing. So, and so their eyes just there. They- And they, it's funny, it's imagine just don't. Yeah, it is rather amazing. It's so easy. but yeah, but if you're there on site, they're saying whether the wood chips are going or whether the wood chips aren't going. I mean, it's all the same. Frankly, it's to their financial. If it takes longer. Yeah, I still got it. Still have it. Yeah.
I think it was a top.
Just how sad it was. Down. Well, it got sold. I mean, sold it. Sold it.
Right.
Then city with but it got in there over the
Buzzo.
and flooded the. So it was an old building, so it had a. And it was. Oh, he ripped.
I got a lot. I could bring a lot back.
Right.
Right. Oh, I know where.
Oh.
It's like
Well, it'd be a great thing to give kids. Of course, they would. What is the maintenance?
most.
Yes, Rick. Well, he and Dick. I've always, every day thing.
Yeah.
I said there was never days that were the same. Problem. Always. Laborers drifted into some lady's ancient rose bush. Wait a minute, over the phone, you killed my rose? What about? Doug. Daughters. Where? But built hell. Did I post
Really
it?
wanted to work.
He was posting all the time about concrete. He worked his butt off. Well, he was. Really that good human. Get fired. Was interesting. Fired. Our girls.
She,
They build
It's okay,
us.
Doug.
what's your blood pressure?
They build us considerably.
Well, and I think.
Oh, these guys earlier.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Yeah, sorry, the closed session went a little longer.
Oh, that's okay. They usually do.
Bob, coming?
No, I
It's 2 weeks. Yes, every year they.
my neighbor.
Good. But you cherish little things that make you feel good.
It's always the little things. All right, if we're good to go, yeah? Yes, all right. Good to see you. All right. Good evening, everybody. We're going to go ahead and call to order the Sacramento-Yolo Port Commission meeting of February 18th, 2026. And with that, Doug, would you be willing to lead us in the pledge? Ah, very good. Then we'll take that as a yes.
Pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Right.
And Chair, if I could just have you make sure your mic is on.
The light is on, so you're not able to hear me?
Now I can.
You can now? Okay. Yeah, the light was on. Be green. Okay. All right. Let's see. So we have a full commission here. We did meet in closed session. Jeff, you want to report out?
Yes, the commission met in closed session for the two items on the agenda. No reportable action was taken.
Very good. Okay. So with that, let's see. We do have one item, and that is presentation by the public on matters not on the agenda, but within the subject matter jurisdiction. We'll start with any public testimony. So I think what we'll do is maybe reverse the order here a little bit. And before we recognize outgoing port manager, we'll, let's see, we'll look for a motion to approve the minutes.
Yes.
So we have a motion to move the minutes and a second.
Second, early.
All right. Second by Early. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. So that takes care of item 4, and that's the consideration of the June 4th regular meeting minutes. So I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and do public testimony as part of recognizing outgoing port manager. Does that work okay? Or did you have a different
Mr.
plan?
Chair, what I recommend is we can make this the port CEO report, and I think it'd be appropriate. The only speakers we have here are people that are here for Mr. Toff. So
Give them a hard time? Okay,
Sure.
good.
You could
Okay,
do it that
very
way
good.
if you
So
would
we'll
like.
do that. So we'll move on to the item 5 is the port CO report.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chair. And as y'all well know at this point, tonight it's a very, very bittersweet night, I think, for all of us, but especially those of us that have been here for way too long, myself included. Rick Toft started with the Port of Sacramento at the time in 1997. That's
Your microphone on, Aaron? I'm sorry.
It says it's the green light's on.
Okay.
Am I?
Doesn't sound like you do, so.
It's on.
There we
I don't know. It sounds like it's on. Oh, so Rick started with the port back in 1997 when it was still the Port of Sacramento. I think you all know the history at that time. The port was very separate from the city. It was an operating port. Rick was in operations. I think he was the operations manager, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. Superintendent, sorry. And at that time, actually worked with 3 of the people sitting in this room, Tom Sheeler, Doug Thompson, and Bob Cars. All welcome back to you. The port was very different at the time. It was, like I said, it was separate wholly from the city. Fast forward to 2006, that was when the city ultimately took governance control of the port. And at that point, things kind of got interesting for Rick and the others. They became city employees. So Rick actually first moved over when he came to the city to the housing side of the redevelopment agency. I was actually on his interview panel, which is weird. But he had background in commercial real estate, which is appraising commercial real estate, which is not a well-known thing about him prior to his port experience. And so don't think he knew anything about housing at that time, affordable housing, but we liked him. He seemed like he was a really smart guy. Turns out we were right. He jumped right into that role in what was at the time the Grants and Community Investment Department, which became housing. And his first job was working on, at the time we were doing really in-depth outreach to mobile home parks. So he had the great task of going mobile home park to mobile home park, passing out flyers and learning what we could about it so we could offer some programs for those residents. And so fast forward again, Rick then moved back into the port operation, and that was around, I think, 2010, 11, somewhere in that window. And now it's kind of getting to where we all started working together. And so, as you know, the port went through some dire times around that time and around the recession. It was running multiple years of deficits. There wasn't a lot of great, in terms of the future outlook, there weren't a lot of great options at that point. It was around that time that I had the pleasure and frankly an honor of being brought in to work with Rick and others in the city at the time on what ultimately became the port business plan that this commission adopted back in 2013. It set up a new model for operating the port as a landlord. So it was a landlord-tenant based operation versus having the city take a really heavy role in the operations of it. And I give really all credit to Rick in a couple things. One was being the reality check that we all needed at that time. That there are things that work for the port and there are things that weren't working. And someone needed to listen to him. And I think, especially you, Mr. Chair, who was, I think, the only port commissioner today that was on the commission back then, and the others for doing exactly that. You put a lot of trust in his advice. He did a very thorough cargo analysis that kind of looked at what worked then and what would likely work in the future. And out of that, we did some very sort of agonizing negotiations that led to our current model, having the relationship with SSA as our primary tenant at the port. And as you know, since that time, thanks to Rick's work and the results of the business plan, the port has been turning a profit ever since, year after year. It's also been put in a position, this is where Rick's talents have really been leveraged, of being able to help the city with a lot of its strategic real estate projects and big initiatives that otherwise we couldn't have imagined back in 2011 when things were really kind of taking a dark turn for the port. And Rick has really, his role, yes, as port general manager, but what a lot of people don't know is he's also been kind of the primary person. I come up with all kinds of crazy ideas, but most of those conversations either come from him or start with him. And it's been an absolute honor and privilege for me to be able to work with him, not on only the port history, which all these guys can speak better about, but more so for the last, really since 2013, the last 12, 13 years on, the port got to a point where it just runs, and it doesn't just run because Rick's the one running it, but it feels like that. It feels like this thing is working. It is working. It's like I said, doing a lot of things for the city. But Rick's contributions to the city of West Sacramento go far beyond what he's done at the port of West Sacramento. And that's something that, he's a very humble guy. He didn't want a big fanfare or even a resolution or anything, or even a party. We're going to do something for him tomorrow. But he's kind of been this silent, but very, very effective and important kind of cog in the city in our overall economic development program, and in the city manager's office. He's been a great, just sort of someone I can lean on in any project that we need that comes up. It's kind of a weird one. He's one of those people that, hey, Rick can do this. He can get off the ground, or he can figure this out. Whether it was the city's corp yard or many other things that we didn't see coming, he stepped in many times over and made the result better off because of it. So I think his best accomplishment, though, like any good leader who is leaving an organization, is leaving it in a place where it's ready for the future. And I mean that in lots of ways. One is just the work that he did to set everything right with the operations, the budget, the way we do things. But probably most of all was in mentoring staff. The person sitting in the back here, Amber Syosset, I think you already know, is set to step into his role once Rick retires. And she couldn't have had a better mentor and someone to better prepare her for that very tall responsibility than Rick Toff. Gonna really look forward to working with her. But we will certainly miss, sorry, get choked up. Certainly miss working together with Rick. I know where to find him, so if we need his help, he won't be too far away. But and I'm sorry to be so long-winded, but this one to me is very special. And I just want to congratulate Rick on his retirement and thank him for his 20 years of service to the city of West Sacramento and beyond with the port. So thank you.
Well said. Well said. Wow, you captured it. That's well said. Thank you for that, Aaron. I think what I'd like to do is maybe invite those that are here to maybe share a few words. I suspect you're not here for the cupcakes. So if you
Rick
wanted
wouldn't
to,
allow cupcakes.
no, you wouldn't allow cupcakes. Gentlemen, if you wanted to come up, I don't know if you were planning on, Tom, good to see you again.
Well, for you that don't know, my name is Tom Sheeler. I was the port engineer, worked at the port for 33 years. I can remember when we brought Rick on board, and poor Rick, you know, as any guy on the low guy on the totem pole, he got the crummy shifts. You know, somebody called in sick, you got the nighttime shift on Saturday night, and you know he just got all the lousy shifts. I can remember poor Rick for a while wondering, is this something that I really want to do? Because he was really, it was tough. But no, Rick always worked very, very well, working on the waterfront, managing labor, making all those decisions is not an easy job, believe me, not an easy job at all. You have, you know, lots of complaints, lots of things to resolve, and Rick always did a great job. To the comments that were already made, I think it just showed his intellect and you know, his just problem-solving capabilities. And so I very much want to thank Rick for the time he spent with the port, and also, you know, congratulate him on his time. I think he's done a great job both for the port and also certainly for the city. And Oscar and I, we went to Germany together for 4 days and barely got any sleep trying to look for some new cargo, but it ultimately didn't come to pass. But interesting 4 days anyway.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was an amazing trip. Another opportunity. Thank you for being here, Tom. Doug, anybody else going to share any words? If not, I'm going to return it back. Yeah, come on up. I mean,
Hello, everybody. My name is Bob Cars. I was an electrician out at the port for years. So actually, Tom hired me in 1989. So I've been was out there and involved with the port for a long time. I remember when Rick got hired, and it's a lot like what my memory of that is like what Tom is describing was I got called out on-call to fix electrical problems. I was the only electrician. So longshoreman, equipment damage, and Rick I don't know how many times Rick has called me in the middle of the night. So our relationship wasn't, I wouldn't say great. It was good, and we got along fine. But some of the superintendents really bothered me, and trying to raise a family at home and also work there all day and then come back 3 hours later. And sometimes it was swing shift, but a lot of times graveyard shift, and that was kind of a problem. But, you know, Aaron, the things you said were really on point, and I thought really good. We got brought on to the city at the same time. Well, you're a little early, but 2016 for me, but I had a great career with the city. I was a superintendent here. And I've always enjoyed working for the city, but I've always enjoyed working at the port. And so when I retired in 2016, I've been a retired Inuit until this year, working out at the port for Rick doing projects. So I do agree that the port's in a pretty good place right now, and Rick has been a good caretaker for it. So I think it is in good hands. Thank you, Rick.
very nice. Good. Nope. You good, Doug? All right.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Better yet, can you see me? Yeah, Rick goes back quite a ways. I remember when he came in, I think from Seattle area, wasn't it? Portland, yeah. He was one of several superintendents. And at that time, we had some employee issues, to say the least. And he was always the one that we were able to count on of all the superintendents. He was sharp. He was truthful. I don't know about him now. He was a good guy, and we really liked him. It's been a pleasure having worked with him. And by the way, when the port finally did, I won't say succumb, but let's say when it decided it was going to be part of the city, or the city decided it was going to be part of the port, he was the first one that was taken. The first employee from the port that came over to the city, which shows that you guys had some pretty good judgment. So he's a great guy, and I'm really proud to have known him.
Yep. Good. All right. Well, We turn it back to the commission for any thoughts before we hear from Rick.
I'll probably, so just hearing about your career, Rick, is just inspirational and amazing. I think we will all hope to aim to have a career that has been so impactful and meaningful to the city and the residents, and really change the complexion of our entire city. And I'm sure you know that you have a legacy that you have left behind, and you should be very, very proud of yourself. And so thank you.
When I was elected to city council and then became a port commissioner, it was a very meaningful moment for me. And Tom Sheila, I don't know if you know who I am. I'm John Sulpizio's daughter.
I know who your dad is.
Okay, yeah. Well, I was with my dad last week in Texas, and we talked about you, and then and he had wonderful things to say. But we chatted at strategic planning. Kind of, you're the last of the original port, and for you to be engaged and involved and just so committed to the future of the city is just so powerful. And so thank you for all the time that you've spent with us. I know it always hasn't been easy, but thank you for just your commitment to the city. I think, you know, what Dante said about having a career, you know, doing the math, spending one time at one organization for so long says something about a person. And it's just incredible that you made the commitment to our community, and it's better because of you. So thank you. When we had our first Port 101 session, when I was elected, your robust knowledge and memory of everything that has happened. Are you leaving a binder? Like, where is this information going to be stored? Is there an encyclopedia somewhere? Because if I ever had any questions about how anything happened, or, you know, what was this or what was that, you knew down to the meeting when that happened and why it happened in the background. And that's just so incredibly impressive. And so I'm going to miss you. I think you were the first person that that chatted with me about the tunneling. And I'm just like, my mind's blown. But you have all the knowledge and information, and I hope you enjoy retirement.
Rick, there's nothing I can say from this dais that could adequately reflect the emotion. There are so many things that I want to say right now, one of which is it's a beautiful, tribute like the one for people seeing you come up the rank, known you, find time on night come into this. You don't have the biggest title sitting on this dais. You have as a council elder. I don't know how many times I've turned to you for guidance and education and wisdom. You have left probably one of the most remarkable impressions this city will ever know. Our beautiful port of Sacramento that lies there, and you've seen it through so many different iterations and complexion changes, and I just admire that incredibly. I think aside from your professional contribution to the city, you're just a remarkable person. I've enjoyed our conversations over the years, some when I've been incredibly vulnerable and new and overwhelmed, and to get a perspective from somebody who has walked and driven and ridden these streets, been priceless. I will miss you, and I've seen so many people that I've worked with over the last 10 years, come and go. You're going to be one that's greatly, greatly missed. I hope that we'll have an opportunity to have further conversation about everything having to do with this beautiful city, because you would be a tremendous loss, let go completely. But thank you for leaving this remarkable impression on all of us. And thank you so much for coming tonight to share such a beautiful, record of his longevity and contribution to this beautiful
It's all been said, Rick. In public service, I think those of us that are fortunate enough to work as long as you did and leave it better than you found it, and I use that in the general sense, are very fortunate. And it's very clear, as evident by the testimony tonight and, the way Aaron kind of captured it. You're absolutely living things better than you found them. And that's not easy to do in government, just in general. I always appreciated your sort of direct nature. We could have these conversations where you would remind me that, you're doing your job well because you're pissing off everybody. And it reflected, I think, your commitment to getting things done and not getting too hung up in the details around whose feelings you might be hurting, but just doing the right thing for the right reason. And you don't always find that in public agency work. So thank you for your commitment to this community, as already been said. The floor is yours.
Well, I have to say a few words after all that generous praise and those kind words. And thank you guys for coming tonight. Thank you, commissioners. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Katie. Thank you, Amber. It's been a great ride. It's been, the city gave me a career that I did not anticipate. And I'm grateful for that. And it's been an honor. It's been eventful. And you will see me around, by the way. You'll see me at an A's game. You'll see me at the Nugget Market or my new favorite restaurant, La Ciudad. Great spot. So thank you all very much.
All right. End of the meeting here. Any commissioner communications? If not, then very good. We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.